And that's how you do it. You lift the camera up just a little bit so you just cannot see the mess on my desk. Oh my goodness. I haven't even been home today. I was off with my sister, helping her out, and we had an amazing afternoon. And I'm super grateful to be able to keep those connections, those important relationships to me alive. And it's not just a matter of keeping it alive, it's nurturing it. It's in that support for each other. It's finding people that you can trust, that people that you can have good laughs and conversations with, people that you have interests with, a little bit of what she loves in her own life. I find extremely interesting, and I admire her because she is such an entrepreneur. And, you know, it's my dream, it's my desire, but I suspect, going to be an accidental entrepreneur because I run with the entrepreneurs. I love the entrepreneurs. I have such admiration for the entrepreneurs, but at the same time, that work that they put in, my sister was super stressed today. And right when you look around your household and you see things piling up, sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating and you can feel like you're going backwards even though you're not. Again, sometimes we look at the things that we're getting wrong or the things that we're not excelling with, and we just think we're the worst or we're useless or I just can't take 5 more minutes of this. When in reality, all you're doing is just not being fair, because if you actually looked at yourself, you'd actually see how amazing you are. We beat ourselves up. And they're not for silly things because we have made them into big things. So they're big things to us. But, people, in all honesty, they really don't. They really don't care. And we think they care more than they actually do. You guys, we are on our 53rd 53rd powerful words. We have been at this for over a year now, even though it's only 53 words. We have done a few of those powerful words a couple of times. And I trust there was a reason that they came across my path a second time. Unfortunately, because I am in the midst of a big holiday that I am putting together, and I am in it. I am in it every day. It's the air that I breathe. It's it's that mirage off in the distance that's keeping me trudging through the heat and the sand. It's only an analogy. It's only an analogy, but it is keeping me going. Because I am pooping out, and because I set goals and I move towards them. It's amazing to watch when these goals and these ambitions and these dreams and these desires, they become manifest for real. Today, you guys, I went and booked the car. Wow. My sister just shook her head. She goes, Cindy, I can't believe that you so easily part with the money. To me, right? That's frivolous, right? But this is, like I said, the air that I breathe. It's what's keeping me going. It's in the evidence and the realization for myself that I matter, that I'm just not a workhorse to myself or others, that I actually deserve to be able to create the best life for myself I possibly can. And if that entails a very expensive holiday, and for some people, it isn't a very expensive holiday, it could be pocket change. It's all depending on who you're talking to and how we apply ourselves to make these amazing things that we want in our life happen. Today I booked the car. Oh my goodness. $2,100 for 2 weeks and 1 day. I like to have that extra day just so I can relax and take my time and unloading it. Maybe get a couple of chores, go to the grocery store once I get home from my trip, to give myself an opportunity to take the car to the car wash, even though I'm not required to. I like to return the vehicle the way I picked it up with a full tank and the vehicle washed and entailed enough that it could just go straight to the next renter for that day. Um, a lot of it I could just do while I'm on the road, right? Because I get stuck behind traffic on the way home quite a bit. So I utilize that time to get things done. I don't have to do too much, but I know when I get home, I am going to be exhausted. Tonight, just before I was coming live, I was sitting here and I was enjoying one of my favorite adventures. If you never watched any of his content, Harold Balder, and right now he's in somewheres in India. He goes to these magnificent, exotic place that again I could only dream of. But if I wanted those holidays, I would create those holidays for myself. I'm not in that movement or that idea that I need to go that big, but I do need to connect with Mother Nature. I do need to connect with the real world. I need to connect with the earth. And I don't know if maybe there's an indigenous part of me. Maybe there is, right, that part of us that is kind of passed down from generation to generation. But I understand as much as I love Mother Nature, those other parts of me love Mother Nature too. And, this is a little bit of advice. If you can find some commonalities uh, in your nature, that you guys can find hobbies and passions that you can similarly, right, enjoy and participate in, because it gives you a chance to get to know yourself, to appreciate yourself, to be a little bit silly and light, right? Because for a lot of us in our lives, life has not been silly. Silly in its ridiculousness, right? And it hasn't been light. It has been heavy and it's been sad and miserable and uncomfortable for lots of us. But by our own doing, and at the same token, right, creating this holiday for myself, it's part of the evidence that we can create for ourselves, right? I am making that movement forward, and I believe I'm making a difference for myself. And if people are tagging along with me, I suspect people are making a little bit of difference for themselves too. And what that looks like and what that entails, that's totally up to them, right? It's in our choice of who do we want to have conversations with, who do we want to be around, who do we want to learn from, who can we trust, who can we believe, right? Who do we feel safe? That's a big one, is feeling safe, especially for me, and especially in these past few years when you get to delve a little bit deeper and you get to recognize that maybe I was a little bit naive. Maybe I did have a little bit more faith in people than, right, people actually thought that they deserved. But like I said, when I came in here, sometimes we don't appreciate the good, right? We only look at the little monsters that we are, and the little procrastinators and the babies, because lots of times we are, right, kind of hesitant in making any kind of movement. But because Cindy loves to move with the baby steps, definitely love working in the baby steps. And I understand those other parts of me are okay with me working in the baby steps. But also keep in mind, right? Maybe those baby steps are not really baby steps, but because of my limiting beliefs that I don't think that I'm good enough or smart enough or right, that I'm as far along as anybody else has, that I beat myself up in that, and yet it might be a totally different story, right? We talk ourselves out of a lot of movement in our lives, and that is the truth. And as I move forward, right, I keep saying moving forward, and you guys might be a little bit sick of hearing me say moving forward, but it's in my attempt to make my beliefs in evolution, it's not even beliefs, it's my understandings in evolution. And when I look out at the world and I look at the experiences going on, just not my own experiences, but being a spectator and a student, makes a lot of sense to me. And not only does it make a lot of sense to me, I feel it as a truth. And truth is a big one to feel, you know what I mean? Because I'm constantly in that hypervigilant state, and I don't release that trust and that belief easily. And that's an unfortunate truth, but at the same time, it is a cautious, protective, and it's got me to this point kind of truth, right? So I accept that part of myself because that is a part of myself, and because I believe in the baby steps. I truly believe in the baby steps, right? And because I'm allowed, I don't feel the obstacles or the restrictions in that movement or that push or that aggression because I'm not moving fast enough. I don't feel that. And that's got to say something, doesn't it? That sometimes it's in our own minds that we're not moving fast enough, that we're moving at all in whatever aspect of our life, right? Because those, those conversations that we have that make us feel bad, they go for the target. They go to where it knows it's going to hurt, right? If we go there, and they could just sit there and stir the pot. You can just hang out with them, and right. So for me, sometimes it's better. Well, it was kind of funny that I was about to say that because this morning I had an understanding. I call them understandings. I don't know what they are, but I was talking about. Ah, I was talking about something that was just for myself in the moment, and I'm not. It's not always necessary to just expand out of every single insight that comes across my path. Some of it is for me to just hold on to and properly digest, not here's the 6 o'clock news that happened at 5:59, and here's right. Some of that stuff is for me to kind of explore and to delve in a little bit with. Okay, before I stick my foot in my mouth, let's pick our 53rd word. We're going to stick with it for a few minutes. First perspective that comes to my mind with that word, we're not going to take a word that we have done already. We'll just move up until I hit a word that we haven't done yet. You guys, first perspective, a few minutes. I hope everybody's having a great week. This is our 53rd word out of a deck of 54 powerful words, and they have been powerful words. And Malvin's here, and he says his good cheer today is looking forward to when my reading glasses show up. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Melvin. It's how I ended up in glasses permanently, like because I would wear my readers, right? And I really strained my eyes, and now I'm in glasses permanently, right? Choices we make. Okay, you guys, here we go. Our 53rd powerful word out of a deck of 54 powerful words. Isn't that crazy? Wow. It has been a year. Here we go. What is that word? Our 50 our 53rd word is, we've been getting these mushy words lately. But we got this word tenderness, and I'm just going to mark it here so I know it's our 53rd word. And the first thing that comes to my mind, the first perspective, right? I said, oh, and oh my goodness, we've been getting some mushy words. We've been getting some mushy words. But I believe that we're supposed to stay soft. I think for a lot of us, right? We have been doing this for a very, very, very long time. And as much as we're kind of blank to a lot of what we're done, I think a lot of those lingering symptoms, right? Those things that we sometimes need. We feel we need the pink ice donuts with the sprinkles, or we need that bottle of bleach and the scrubbies, or we need to go off to the casino. It could be so many things that we delve into when we're not feeling good, right? We're not feeling good about ourselves, right? And a lot of it, like I said, is not true. It's just because we spend so much time looking at the negative parts, the things that we're not getting right. And we're not giving even the equal amount of time to at least recognize what we are getting right, and we beat ourselves up. And after a while, and I suspect if you're anything like me, you may have been doing this for eons and eons, maybe lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. And it doesn't, well, it can break you down. I can, because you give up, right? That's the thing. But I think for a lot of us, we harden up, right? We act like we don't care, or bring it on. I could take it. One more, yeah, I'll show you, right? Who's smarter, who's prettier, or who's richer, right? And we do this and we make it a competition. And I love competition, but only in good sportsmanship, right? Just in only in good sportsmanship, knowing that if I failed, at least I competed, right? At least I thought I had a chance, or maybe I went into it knowing that I had no chance, but that I was excited and I was happy to be included in something I love, right? And lots of us, we just kind of talk ourselves out of those amazing moments that kind of bring smiles to our lives. And when we smile, when you guys, it's a truth, right? I know how my world looks when I'm smiling. I experience it when I go to work on a busy Saturday shift and my customers come in, and we're community, and the conversations we have and the kindnesses and the considerations, and right? And the actual energy that boils up in the store to accumulate into a productive, good work shift, even though, right, everybody's taken a bum kicking. And it's kind of that idea of whistle while you work. But sometimes we take a look at those bum kickings and we grumble and we complain and oh my goodness, and there's Sally. She's walking into the store and she's had the worst day ever. But she's going to go over and she's going to go see Cindy and the crew and right, spend a few minutes. Maybe she'll find a new outfit and have a nice conversation. Right? Maybe they'd like those some of those cookies that I just finished baking. I tell you, everybody bakes and brings us coffees and treats. We are we are a community, right? And that's where we practice the tenderness, right? And that tenderness comes in all kinds of different forms. The cuddly one. Sometimes it's just feeling out what does somebody need, right? And sometimes it's just caring, having somebody to sit there and listen, right? Sometimes you don't want to listen because it's like grumble, 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 right? And that plays into our lives. I believe that what we think about is realized, and lots of us we block ourselves out from those good feelings because we don't think we deserve them, right? Or we don't even think about them because all we're doing is we're just so busy thinking about everything that we're not getting right. Isn't it funny that we started talking about that even before we got this word, right? And we harden up. We become shy and introverted in that. You think, oh, what's so and so gonna say when they hear that I like to do this, or or I have these idiosyncrasies in my life, in my uniqueness, in my understandings, that they're not going to get my religious belief or my political beliefs. And that's okay because as long as we're moving with those values, as long as I know that, right, if I'm hanging out with you, I'm going to be okay. I can be myself, allow myself to be myself without somebody coming at me because I said something that went against one of their beliefs or faiths or political ideas. I believe that we should be moving with our values, right? Because it's important for us to feel safe, to feel comfortable, to feel that we matter, to have an amazing life, to smile and to make that movement forward that is so important for our very existence because, right, I believe this is an evolutionary period in mankind's evolvement and potential non-movement, right? Because we're no special. Then, well, maybe we are, maybe we're not. Like, but what makes us more important uh, to any other creature on this planet that we might survive something, right? Why are we so deserving of that? Right? We take things so for granted, and when these moments in our lives that are hard to handle or hard to accept, right? Or hard to even have conversations with, right? It does harden us up. So, I believe that it's important for us to be able to, right, hang out with our family and not allow their beliefs, right? I come from a very dynamic family where there are lots of different beliefs. And That is the truth. And it was encouraged and allowed. My mother was a bit of a holy roller, and right, she loved Jesus. My father, he was very spiritual, and he loved something different. I never got to have those conversations with my father. My father didn't see my potential, right? And that may hinder that little bit of movement that I want to make with others, right? Because I believe that for lifetime, epigenetically, going from one generation to the next generation, that we do roll with the same with the same people. But it's how we help each other evolve, right? I know within my own family, not one of us, there were similarities, but not one of us was the spitting um, identical of any other person in my family. Each one of us was a unique in our own life, and just as much as religion was a choice for us, we had lots of choices, right? And I believe that some of those choices that I made in my life gave me an opportunity to make a little bit of different movement than what my sisters may have taken. But in saying that, I sure do admire my sister Alice. What an entrepreneur that woman is, I tell you. But there is a price to that because it does wear on us in that stress, in that worry, in sometimes not seeing that progress, or when we see how we're working ourselves and wearing ourselves down emotionally, physically, financially, that we can beat ourselves up a little bit. But I wouldn't expect that any of us, were meant to harden up, right? If anything, we were meant to protect, right? That tender part of us that, well, needs us as much as we need them. And I believe, right, that uh, you wouldn't see much of me without those other parts of me, because that's where my belief lays 100%. I am done with my day. I am done with my day. And I am quite content with how that day went and the kindnesses, right? My sister helping me out by well, she didn't, that was my money, but she used her card because, right, these transactions need credit cards, and I lost my card over COVID. So, I'm lucky to have family that cares, right? Even though they think I'm a little cuckoo spending all this money in the creation of this holiday that I am. But that reward is going to reward, because I'll be bringing it right here. You guys will have episodes when I get back, and I'll be going right back into an editing. And if you've been with me for any length of time, you guys know I'm not a big fan of the editing, but I'm going to do the very best that I can. And in the way that I film, right? It's just a matter of splicing things together and then adding a little bit of YouTube music, and we are off. So maybe some fonts and some introduction. It's work, but it's nothing I'm not up to and excited to share, because that's the best part of it, because I get to share this with all of you. You guys, that's my good cheer. Thank you, Melvin, for popping into my live today. Happy to hear you're getting your glasses, right? Keep that strain off your eyes so that all that work that you had in getting those cataracts removed, that you won't end up having that issue again, because you won't be straining your eyes, right? What you think about is realized. So don't do too much thinking about your eyes, except when you're going to read a book. Okay, you guys, that's my good cheer. See you.